Hey there everyone, and welcome to this Flesh and Steel playthrough of Dishonored 2. So, in my first playthrough, I played as Emily, non-lethal and no detections, and I said that my next playthrough was going to be Flesh and Steel, so let it be noted, I'm a woman of my word, and I'm going ahead and doing that.
To get out of here.
So this run is going to be... Speedrun isn't the right thing to call it, because certainly I've been watching speedruns, and there are people that run this game about 10 times faster than I ever could. But it's going to be kind of like a quasi-speedrun. Ideally, I'm just going to be running through as fast as possible, because especially in areas where there are a lot of enemies, it's just easier for me to run past them as opposed to taking them out one by one, because that is the big issue with not having powers. You don't really have the escape routes that you would have otherwise. So for the first mission, I figured there's not that many enemies, it kind of gives me the freedom to do what I want, so since I definitely prefer low chaos over high chaos, I'm just going to take the low chaos route and knock Ramsey out. And of course, making it easier for myself, I'm just going to knock these two guards unconscious so I don't have to worry about navigating around them. So one thing to note, Ramsey has a very long conversation in the room with these guards. If you want him to leave the room faster, just throw a bottle at them. The sound will distract them, it'll cut the conversation short, and it'll make Ramsey actually hustle his ass out into the hallway where you can deal with him without having to worry about those two guards. I'm definitely going to be taking an avoidance approach, and anyone that I don't have to deal with, I'm just gonna work around. So those two guards in the room, they're never even gonna know I was here. So as you can see, Ramsey is already making his way over. If we hadn't thrown that bottle, he would still be having the conversation about, oh, my dad, he was royalty, and like, we were so rich, and I hung out with the Boyles, and then I lost everything, and that's why I'm betraying Corvo and Emily, because Delilah promised me money. You asshat. Anyway. We're just gonna drop behind him here and knock him out. The ragdolling in this game is so great though. Look at this fool.
This won't leave my hand again.
I think it's worth me making a quick note here. Since this game has been out for, gosh, 2 weeks now? Oh, almost 3, maybe? Well, as of recording this game has been out for like 2.5 weeks, so I'm going to be skipping all cutscenes that are skippable just because I assume that most of the people watching at this point are already familiar with the game. So hopefully that's not a turnoff for people watching. If it is, I apologize. If you do want to see cutscenes, you can check out my previous Emily run. I was playing that run like the first day that the game was released, so I watched all the cutscenes and everything.
Now you've got what you wanted, Ramsey.
Little jumping on his feetsies there.
Dunwall Tower.
That's what you get, Ramsey.
This could be handy. Old Samuel made this. I'm glad he didn't live to see me driven out of
And then there's also a letter from Wyman, Emily's love interest, who we don't get to see this game, which is a damn shame, but, you know, maybe some DLC.
The reserves
of course, I'm going to grab some money before I head out of here. Fun fact, if you come back to this room in the final mission, and you left Ramsey in the room, you'll actually find him as a frozen statue next to those safes. So apparently Delilah was not very happy that he let Emily get away. Alright, we're going to make our way out to the streets now.
Until I understand this.
Just gonna put my weapons away because I will not be needing them.
I should make my way to the
Might as well grab some money while we're at it, because at some point we will be swinging by a shop to buy some things. Potentially some upgrades, although I think at this point maybe I'll just rob a shop or two. It's kind of an easier way to get supplies. So there is actually a way to completely bypass this section. When you're up on that balcony, like when you first open the door, if you make a sharp left, you can actually drop down and go straight to the ship. Now, I attempted it, and I just couldn't get the timing right. Emily kept falling to her death, but I know it's possible. I've seen speedrunners do it. I just am apparently not good enough at this game to do that myself. So I opted to take the slightly longer route, but not that much longer, because I'm basically going to bypass this entire section by taking the train car. Now, I could have just run right past these guys, but like I said, I figured earlier on when there's less enemies, I kind of have more flexibility to play how I would like to play, and I like to play low chaos. So I'm just going to take this guy with me along for the ride. because he has the annoying habit of noticing you as you go past him. We're just gonna very stealthily make our way over to the train car entrance here.
The former Empress Emily Caldwin.
Basically, my strategy for this run is just try to find the easiest way to do things and go with that. So obviously this is one of the easier ways to deal with this section. And staying stealthed, at least here, it's pretty simple. Makes your life a little bit easier, so that's what I did. In later levels, you'll definitely see me just bulldoze straight through everyone, just like sprinting past guards, being like, I don't care if you see me, I just want to get to where I'm going. But I figure at this point in the game, I don't really need to do that.
Gotta get away. I should talk to the captain of that ship.
So here we are, already at the ship. Just have to make sure I didn't mess up that jump. Not saying that I have, I've definitely done it before, but anyway. When you jump in the water here, just be aware that you should stay to the left side because Emily can get stuck on something at the bottom if you go on the right-hand side, and it's just annoying to deal with. So anyway, that was a pretty quick first mission, but it'll be quick if you kind of just go straight past that entire section there.
You want to hear
Hi,
what
Megan.
I've got to say? I guarantee it. Lady Emily.
Yes.
I am indeed ready. Let's get moving. Alright, so there you have it. Definitely the easiest mission of the game, so it'll only get harder from here. Although, I take that back. It is not the easiest mission of the game, and you will see why shortly after we talk to the outsider and give him a very polite thank you, but no fucking thank you to his option to have powers.
It feels odd. I can feel something moving closer.
Hello, sir.
Empress Emily.
Alright, here we go.
No. Whatever you're offering, I can make my own way.
Another surprise. So be it.
All the stories. They're
So,
true.
once you reject the powers, as you might have noticed, some more platforms basically come into view because the game acknowledges that you can't get through this section without any powers, unless they help you out a little and add some more ledges for you to climb. The game still does give you the heart though. Not that you need runes, but you can find bone charms with it, which could be useful. I'm pretty much only gonna grab the bone charms that are within my general vicinity. I'm not going to go out of my way to find any. And of course you need the heart for plot reasons later on in the game. I'm assuming most of the people watching this know what the plot is, but I guess I won't say anything, just
Who
in
is
case.
Delilah really? How could she? I don't understand.
Poor Emily. She's seen some shit, okay guys? She's having a really bad day. Good morning, Emily. Wake up, we got stuff to do. Alright, so I did grab these bone charms just because they're very loud and obnoxious, and every time I'm in the cabin, if I leave them there, they're going to be loud and obnoxious. Neither of them are useful to me, but oh well. Alright, and now that we've got our crossbow, that is like everything that we need.
Must be you're up.
Hello, Megan. I'm sure you have very important things to say, but we're going to skip it because we know what you're going to say. We need to go and talk to Dr. Hypatia in
Why is
Addermire.
this here? It's
Now, something that I will say, Dr. Hypatia, probably the only target in this game that I 100% never want to kill ever because, like, none of this is her fault, and I feel really bad for her, and I just kind of want to give her a hug because she has been through some shit. But unfortunately, it is a lot easier to do away with her than it is to cure her, so at least for this run, we are going to be killing her. But seriously, this is like the one and only time I will ever kill Dr. Hypatia. Like, I guarantee you, I could be playing a high chaos run where I'm murdering literally everyone, and my one exception would always be Hypatia. So this is the one and only time I will not cure her. And for those that are of the same mind as me and are upset that I'm going to go ahead and offer, trust me, you will see why I picked that option very shortly. So remember when I said the first mission was the easiest? Turns out I'm a liar. It wasn't the easiest because there is a glitch in this level. Now, I didn't know about this the first time I played through it because, I mean, I was playing through it on the first day of release, but I've been watching a lot of speedruns, and some very clever speedrunners have figured this out. So this was the first time that I tried this exploit, so it was a little bit clumsy on my part, but I managed to do it. So, want to know how to bypass the entire second mission? Just jump up this wall. It is that simple. I can only imagine they're gonna patch this soon because this just like completely breaks this mission. It's kind of ridiculous, even though it is very handy, I must say. So, yeah, there's the carriage. And, we did it. Congrats. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That will definitely be patched at some point. I actually kind of thought it was going to be patched when they did the big update earlier in the week, but lo and behold, I guess Bethesda has more important things to fix with this game, and in fact they do, because a lot of people are still having issues playing it on PC. But yeah, no one saw us, because we spent about 5 seconds on that level. Alright, so this is what I was talking about when I said I decided to off Hypatia. This is why. Because this is when I reached the point where I'm like, you know what? Stealthing past all these people, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. I don't want to deal with it. I'm just gonna bulldoze my way through and hope that I don't get murdered. Which, spoiler alert, I died like 5 times trying to do this. I think this was my 5th try. Basically, if you time things incorrectly or you're too slow, the guards just kind of add up and they'll block you, and like in this doorway, for example, and you can't get past them, and then they just murder you, or you get stuck on the stairs. I got incredibly lucky. Didn't get stuck on anyone. Actually jumped off of a guy's head. I shouldn't have taken the time to close this door, because they're basically going to come in here and die from the blood flies anyway. So I'm just running past because I know the guards are behind me. I did take the time to pick up those incendiary bolts because they will be useful later on, since incendiary bolts can actually disable whale oil tanks or wiring systems. So I opted to go around this way so I can grab the information on Sokolov. I grabbed the bone charm and the painting while I was there. The bone charm is absolutely useless to me, but the painting will give us some easy money, so that's nice. Then I kind of messed around for a bit and then headed back over here. I am so sorry, Hypatia. I feel really bad. Oh my god, why are these animations so violent? I'm so sorry, no! Oh no. I'm a terrible person.
Had to be done.
Oh, Hypatia, I'm sorry. Okay, well, like I said, that is the one and only time. I absolutely refuse to kill Hypatia ever again. So, pretty easy way to deal with these 2 guards here. Later, fellas. And then you can't actually jump to the watchtower from that platform down there, so you need to walk up,
Megan can pick me up.
up that crane there. And, well, basically I couldn't figure out how to get down, and then I noticed there was a guard, and I was like, oh, thank you for being my landing pad, sir. Oh, ouch. Put some ice on that. And that is Attermeyer. So, as it turns out, when you run through the guards, it's pretty simple, but unfortunately it means you're pretty much committed to killing Hypatia, because there is no way you were making it back out of those rooms to get the cure, because you've got the entire guard force from Attermeyer standing outside that room. So, I was pretty committed to being a terrible person, which I was.
Can we leave this place yet? I don't like it.
I'm with you, Megan. I want to get out of here.
Yes. Let's get back to the ship.
I want to leave the scene of the crime. I feel so ashamed. Okay, so still keeping low chaos, just because we're not really killing that many people. But yeah. Attermeyer's pretty fast, as it turns out. So, mission 4, the Clockwork Mansion. I was pretty worried about this mission. I figured I would 100% completely fuck it up. Ended up going a lot smoother than I expected though, so that's the good news. I do take the opportunity to check on the bone charm that I picked up earlier. Completely useless.
She's a lot tougher than I expected. It's time to go get Sokolov.
Alright, so since Dr. Hypatia isn't in this room because we fucking murdered her like a terrible person, we're gonna go out to the skiff and head out to the city. Of course, this time we're taking care of Jindosh, who, spoiler alert, I am also going to kill, but I will not feel that bad about it, unlike the whole Hypatia thing, which I still feel terrible about, by the way. So, moving on, trying to get over it. So for this section here, it took me a few tries. Basically, I do kind of run past the guards here, but my timing was all wrong. One of the guards was seeing me right out of this gate when I was just sprinting out, so I decided to slow down and stealth a little, because as you saw, he walked past, and that gave me a little bit of time so that I could get closer to here before the guards noticed me. So you gotta break the window here, shoot an incendiary bolt at the electrical panel, because it will deactivate it. One of the guards did hit me, so I believe, yeah, I needed to use a health potion. Figured, I'd pick up the stuff while I'm here, and now it's just a matter of waiting for the carriage to show up. Of course, the carriage shows up a lot later than the guards do, so I end up having to play a little ring around the rosy with them. Some guy threw a rock at me, it was not fun. People are hitting me left and right, but once this slow ass moves out of the carriage, I'm able to get in and go to the upper district. Luckily, once you're locked into the carriage, and you're locked into that cutscene, the guards can't hit you anymore, so. There's a health potion here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab it. Alright, so for this section, I definitely could have run through this area, but I decided to stealth, just because it's a lot easier than dealing with all of the guards in here. And the guy that has the gate code is asleep anyway, so why wake him up? It's a lot easier if he just keeps dozing and we steal the combo from right under his nose. I'm sure you've all probably noticed that for the most part I keep my weapons away when I'm moving. There's a pretty simple reason for that. It's not just because, oh, I'm not using them. It's because you do move slightly faster with your weapons away, so. Just gonna pick up some supplies since we're here and nobody knows that we're here and we can take a breather. We are gonna eat this guy's food because we're a little bit low on health here. Alright, gate code. That's really all we needed from this room. And then I wasn't 100% sure that I could jump out of this window without taking damage, but then I noticed there was a teeny tiny ledge below me, and I was like, I bet I could clip onto that ledge for just long enough to break the fall, which is exactly what happened, so I was able to make my way down pretty easily. It was just a matter of putting the code in and I was good to go. So I figured these earlier sections, they weren't going to be that hard. But the mansion, the Clockwork Mansion, now that was what I was concerned about. Because, well, this probably isn't common knowledge to anyone keeping tabs on the channel just because I didn't have commentary in my previous Emily run, but, I really hate the Clockwork Mansion. Like, it's one of those things where I super duper appreciate, just the design of the Clockwork Mansion. I think that it's an incredibly innovative level, and actually probably the only level design that I like better is the Crack in the Slab mission. But this mission, despite how cool it is a pain in the ass. And I know for a fact, because I've been watching a lot of speedruns, speedrunners hate this mission, because just so much can go wrong so quickly.
Eliminate Jindosh and find Anton Sokolov.
So I do take a moment to heal up here. Alright, so the key for this mission is to go fast. Because in this first section, you gotta be quick if you want to reach the whale oil tank and deactivate the wall of light. So you can kind of hop up the stairs as they're forming. This is a lot easier to do with Far Reach or Blink, but totally feasible to do without powers. This was actually harder than getting into this little area in the first place because you have to time your jump just right to get on that ledge and hop on out. Otherwise, it just like, you've got to completely reset it again. Alright, so I am trying to be fast because I want to catch Jindosh before he gets into the elevator. Because if he gets into the elevator, then he's at the level that the Clockwork soldiers are at, and I don't want to be there. So I need to hop on into his office real quick. I did take the time to grab those rewire tools. And as you can see, Jindosh is right in front of the elevator, so I just caught him in time. Literally, he was calling the elevator. So it worked out well for me because, hey, now I have a ride. Ooh, god damn. Sorry, Jindosh. Yikes, that had to hurt. So, all in all, pretty easy. We kind of got in, got out, and it worked out in our favor. Catching Jindosh so late into his animations because we got a free ride on the elevator and the Clockwork Soldiers didn't really see us. So I opened this panel. Didn't mean to. I meant to open the whale oil tank. There is one guard that patrols this section. I didn't really want to kill her, but it was one of those things where she was going to be a pain in the ass when I went and took Sokolov out. So I decided, sorry lady, I'm sure that, you know, you wanted to call in sick today, but showed up to work because you're a hard worker, but I kind of need you to not be there, so. Alright, so I was expecting this section to be a lot worse than it actually was. It's really just a matter of being careful with how you manipulate the floor panels. Oh, I did take a moment to check bone charms again because I picked one up at some point. And, I mean, this one's not bad, so I equipped it. It's not going to be terribly helpful, but better than nothing. So, as I was mentioning, this section is really all about just being mindful of the floor panels. You don't really want to step down on any of them fully, because when you do, they'll click into place. There's only one section where you really want them to click like that. So I did take the time to wait for this Clockwork Soldier to move a little further away, just so that he wouldn't be in my way. So, like I said, you don't want the panel to fully click, but you gotta move fast. So as you can see, I'm kind of hauling ass. Sokolov, we're here, don't worry about it. We'll fix you. Right, so now we gotta carry the guy out. Took a moment to grab the painting, you know, free gold, some food, because my health was low. Then I realized, oh, I've gotta drop Sokolov to unlock this panel here. Okay, so you still don't want this panel to click into place. You gotta be fast though. I clearly wasn't fast enough because I ended up clipping a little bit through the roof there, and actually for a second I thought like, oh shit, what a great glitch, I'm gonna get out of here. But then it teleported me back down into the maze. So this is the panel that you do want to click all the way in, because it kind of puts a barrier between you and the Clockwork Soldier. Of course he showed up right there and I'm like, I gotta run. He's gonna kick my ass if I don't move it. And then, of course, you want this one to click all the way so the Clockwork Soldier can't follow you out. Now, there are a bunch of guards up on the platform. They will absolutely see you when you run across this way. But at this point, I figured I took care of the guard patrolling this hall section here. There's no way that this guy behind me can catch me, so I might as well just run for it. And, of course, I'm going back the way I came because that is the easiest and fastest way out of the mansion. I was really worried that the Clockwork Soldiers would be on this bottom floor of the lab because I killed Jindosh, and usually they jump down when that happens. I got lucky. The soldiers just like weren't paying attention for some reason. They were still up on that upper balcony level where his office was, and they just were absolutely clueless, had no idea. So I was able to make my way out really easily. I'm checking behind me like, wow, are they really that oblivious? Apparently they were. Like, I'm not even playing on easy difficulty, I don't know. They just didn't care that Jindosh got murdered. Alright, so for this section I got a little bit confused. First of all, I got stuck on the door. And then once I finally managed to get past my greatest enemy, the doorway, I was like, oh, there's no way out of this room. Like, what did I do wrong? Oh, I bet I have to pull a lever, which ended up being the solution. So I knew there was going to be a Clockwork Soldier down in the hallway, so I didn't want to make a very big jump, because if you jump too far, you will drop the person you're carrying. So I made my way down the stairs instead, and then just hauled ass past this soldier, and ended up getting out pretty easily. So the mission that I was really worried about ended up being not that bad at all. Certainly a lot easier than trying to do that mission with no detections, let me tell you. So the only thing to get past at this point is the witches that have spawned and killed all the guards. Which makes my life a little bit easier because there's less witches than guards, but the witches are also a lot scarier enemies than the guards are, and you actually, there's a moment up here where I get totally jump scared because I get hit and don't expect it. Right here, do you see my mouse flail? That was me jumping, like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting to get hit. I don't know why that panicked me so much, but I definitely, like, it startled me. But that's okay, we just got hit once or twice. Made it back to Megan, got Sokolov here safe and sound. And all in all, that mission went pretty smoothly. Still keeping my chaos level low, so that's fun. Anyway, that's it for this first episode. Thanks so much for watching, and keep an eye out for the next one.